Good, how are you doing? Baby, come right in.
Where can I stand where I'm not in anyone's way?
Down, right over down, right.
Describe this atmosphere. We've got two of the biggest sports stars in the world, yourself and Caitlin Clark. Describe this atmosphere.
It's crazy. I mean, that first tee was something out of a book almost. But it's so fun. It's cool to see how many people she brings together to another sport, and it's fun to hang out with her. She's super cool. You know, we saw each other actually last week at an outing, yeah, I mean, it's nice to be alongside greats. I mean, even her teammates are super fun. So it's been a blast so far.
We're gonna walk and talk. Is that all right? As we head up to the green, I've been noticing a lot of young women, girls in the gallery here that you don't see as many at a regular tournament. How important is that, and what does that mean for not only the LPGA but for women's sports going forward?
I mean, to see that's probably the best part of being out here, right? Inspiring the next generation, seeing those girls look up to us and saying like they want to be in this exact spot in the next couple of years because we were those girls, right? So I think it's very important for everyone to have role models. I had amazing role models, so it's really cool to see. And yeah, I hope they love the game of golf as much as, you know, I do.
What do you learn from Caitlin Clark? Obviously, you said you're at that outing. You have a chance to chat away from maybe the cameras and the fans. What do you learn from a player like her?
I think she enjoys everything that she does. You know, it's sometimes there's so many things that you can juggle, right? There's so many things that we kind of have to do, and for her to be so laid back and relaxed and have fun and just chit chat with everyone is cool to see.
Now, I understand you've got some new shoes that you've developed. Is this going to be a gift for Caitlin?
Yeah, so I gifted her some shoes before the round, so hopefully she uses them. She did ask me if they're going to make her golf better, and I was like, guaranteed.
Did you sign them?
No, I didn't. I hope she uses them. But I gave her a little gift bag of this little PE collection, which has been super fun to make. So I'm very grateful. And if you told me this, I don't know, 10 years ago when I was looking in the crowd that I would have my own shoe and being here playing in front of everyone and inspiring the next generation, I would tell you you're crazy. So it's been a lot of fun.
Older 2 years running at the Annika. Here's what Nelly had to say about teeing it up once again with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I actually saw her last week for an outing, but she's great. She's so fun to be around. It's so cool to see how many people she brings to a different sport, how many fans that she has, and what a difference and how much of a needle that she moves, really. So it's really cool to see, and just a lot of appreciation for her for coming out here and also supporting us.
Nelly, obviously it's the second year that Caitlin's been here and played in this pro-am. You played with her last year. Did you notice any differences in her game from last year to this year, or was it just more about having fun for you guys?
Yeah, definitely more about having fun. I mean, her teammates were out too. They were a lot of fun. I think maybe she was a little bit more comfortable. We knew each other a little bit more, so for us, like, chit-chatting was a lot of fun. But I would say the same amount of people showed up this year as they did last year, and that to me is really cool to see.
Not only did Caitlin Clark's LPGA encore measure up to the expectations, but it went above and above. Driven by Gamebridge Sport Prom, the Iowa great and current Indiana Fever player returned for another round at the Anaco LPGA, demonstrating once more that she has a unique ability to enthrall everyone around her regardless of the arena, parquet, or fairway. The excitement was evident as soon as the gates opened. In an attempt to catch a sight of Clark's swing, smile, or even just a wave in between strokes, fans flocked to the ropes along the fairways early in the morning. Fever jerseys were worn by many. Some wore Nike hats with her. It was more than just a golf event. It was an experience that blurred the boundaries between sports and entertainment, between competition and celebration. What makes Caitlin Clark's presence so captivating isn't just her athletic ability, it's her connection to people. You can see it in the way fans light up when she approaches, in the laughter that spreads throughout the crowd when she cracks a joke, and in the excitement that seems to follow her everywhere she goes. This time, she shared the spotlight with none other than Nelly Korda, one of the top golfers and another Nike athlete. Together, they transformed a routine professional into one of this week's most talked-about sporting events. When Korda talked about golf today, she couldn't contain her excitement about playing with Clark once more. Korda grinned and remarked, "I actually saw her last week for an outing.
She's excellent. She is a lot of joy to be around.
Seeing how many people she brings and how much of a needle she pushes is amazing. I would estimate that this year's attendance was at least as high, if not higher." The fact that Korda, who was used to leading sizable gatherings herself, was impressed by Clark's charisma speaks much about Caitlin's distinct influence. Not many athletes, golfers, and another Nike athlete. Together, they transformed a routine professional into one of this week's most talked about sporting events. When Korda talked about golf today, she couldn't contain her excitement.
About playing with Clark once more.
Korda grinned and remarked, "I actually saw her last week for an outing.
She's excellent. She is a lot of joy to be around.
Seeing how many people she brings and how much of a needle she pushes is amazing. I would estimate that this year's attendance was at least as high, if not higher." The fact that Korda, who was used to leading sizable gatherings herself, was impressed by Clark's charisma speaks much about Caitlin's distinct influence. Not many athletes nowadays, both men and women, have the same ability to create excitement simply by showing up. From the first tee on the course, you could sense it. With each hole Clark played, there was a fresh round of applause.
The cameras flashed.
She was followed down the fairways by a buzz of talk as laughter erupted. Groups of college students yelled her name from behind the ropes as parents put their children onto their shoulders for a better view. However, the crowd wasn't the only thing that caught my attention.
It was none other than Clark.
She appeared extremely relaxed, even though she was on a golf course rather than a basketball court. Joyful, calm, and self-assured. She wasn't there to demonstrate anything.
She was there to take pleasure in it.
Nevertheless, she couldn't resist competing even if she was enjoying herself. Each swing was deliberate and focused. She is one of the biggest stars in basketball today because of her competitive fire, which is evident in every putt she makes with accuracy. However, something even more significant is taking place here. Clark's participation in the LPGA Pro is indicative of a developing trend in which sportsmen become cultural celebrities in addition to their main sport. She is a member of a new generation that is reinventing what it means to be a professional athlete.
Her influence goes well beyond basketball.
She has an impact on pop culture, fashion, and now even golf. Her rapport with another highlight of the day was Nelly Korda. The two were always grinning, chatting in between holes, and laughing easily as they compared swings.
Fans used their phones to record every moment.
Videos that received millions of views on social media in a short amount of time. It should come as no surprise that fans want to see such sincere camaraderie between two world-class athletes. The fact that Clark stays true to himself throughout it all makes it even more amazing. Although she is unquestionably a superstar, she doesn't behave like one. She poses for selfies, engages with fans, signs autographs, and never seems to forget how much her presence means to people. That modesty combined with what makes her unique is her indisputable brilliance.
One thing was evident by the time the last hole was played. Caitlin Clark is more than simply a basketball star. She is a force in culture. She brings electricity regardless of the sport or environment.
Because she represents something uncommon, it follows her. A blend of skill, self-assurance, and genuineness that appeals to everyone she encounters.
She did more than simply play golf at the Gainbridge Pro-Driven Anika LPGA.
She set the mood, shared a moment, and reminded everyone in attendance of the unique nature of her influence. Caitlin Clark keeps proving one thing, whether it's a tee shot down the fairway or a three-pointer at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the limelight follows her everywhere she goes, and she consistently delivers. Even though Caitlin Clark doesn't play golf as her main sport, you wouldn't know it from watching her compete at the Gainbridge Sport Pro-Driven Anika LPGA. She played with the same laser-like focus, poise, and competitive edge that have made her a phenomenon on the basketball court. However, she counterbalanced everything with a serene, laid-back charm that admirers have grown to adore. This was obviously going to be more than a round of golf from the first tee. Fans followed her every step, cameras were constantly clicking, and the stadium was buzzing with excitement. However, one of the most unforgettable moments of the day had nothing to do with a scorecard or a swing. It originated from a brief but endearing conversation between Clark and Nelly Korda, her playing companion. The two Nike players were spotted comparing their trainers prior to teeing off. This amusing, unplanned moment quickly went viral. Nelly chose to give Caitlin a pair of her new trademark Nike Free Golf shoes right there on the tee box, marking a significant turning point in her own career. It was an elegant and joyful gesture. As Caitlin put them on, her expression brightened. She pointed to Nelly's shoes and joked about how well they matched. The gang burst out laughing, and the Please remember to like, subscribe, and enable all notifications if you have watched this far and found the video entertaining.